The challenge? Tax reform. For the first time in 20 years, taxes are going up for the rich. They'll pay a higher top marginal income tax rate, higher taxes on dividends and capital gains, and a higher estate tax rate. But it could have been worse.
I think that the wealthy got off pretty easily here. There's a modest tax increase for the very wealthiest in the society, very tiny percentage. I frankly think that there are more tax coming, and they're going to bite deeper into the middle class.
In fact, 2/3 of Americans will pay higher taxes in 2013, according to the Tax Policy Center. The tax bite for the middle class comes from the end of the payroll tax cut, a temporary tax goodie that wasn't renewed in the fiscal cliff deal. But whatever happened to comprehensive tax reform?
The IRS tax code is still a nightmare. It's too complex, too costly, and too unfair.
Both sides say they're open to simplifying the tax code. More than 70,000 pages in 2012. The U.S. government gives away more than $1 trillion a year in tax breaks. But Republicans say reform isn't about squeezing more money out of taxpayers.
I think tax reform is a good idea, but now that we have resolved the revenue issue, tax reform ought to be revenue neutral, as it was back during the Reagan administration.
The president and congressional Democrats disagree.
But spending cuts must be balanced with more reforms to our tax code. The wealthiest individuals and the biggest corporations shouldn't be able to take advantage of loopholes and deductions that aren't available to most Americans.
Trust me, there are plenty of things within that tax code, these loopholes where people can park their money in some island offshore and not pay taxes. These are things that need to be closed.
A major overhaul of the tax code hasn't happened since 1986, when the political system was much less polarized. But deficit hawks insist a big deal, a so-called grand bargain, is critical for jump-starting U.S. economic growth.
We've got to reform the tax code and probably raise more revenues than we have. And importantly, we have to focus on controlling spending and reforming our entitlements, which are right now unsustainable. Delaying all of this is irresponsible.
Hard choices ahead. Whether Congress and the president can come together remains to be seen. Christine Romans, CNN, New York.
Thank you.